Hello everyone, this is Marcus again, and first of all, I would like to apologize because there are many times I don't record any tutorial over here, and that's because I was traveling, so I was unable to keep this project. But now I got back to my place, to my country, and I will keep this project. So today we are going to create a thing really useful. It's named contact chip, and I did a little flow to explain better how that works. So let's go to the beginning. Let's suppose we are here in this app for email. So we are in the section of compose. The anatom over here, we got this back button, the title, this little icon to send the message, and then we have to people or person we are going to send this message, this email. Then we have the subject, and we have the place for type, the big text, right? We have some lines separating that, so it's gonna be more tied up, more organized, more decluttered, if you want to say it this way. And we have a little shadow over here too, but it's not important because I want to focus on the flow right now. So it's possible to see over here too that this text is a little gray to demonstrate that it's a placeholder. Placeholder is a text or an image, or even an image, an icon, where we show to the user that it's possible to type here, it's possible to insert an image over here too. So placeholder is a little grayish, if you know what I mean. And I'm bringing this little hand to demonstrate interactions to you. So here the user is tapping, right? And here the user started typing, for example, J, because the user wants to send an email to some person or people, because we can send the same email to many people. So the user is trying to find out some John, Jane, Josh, you know. And then the user starts typing this little bar here. It's named cursor, not cursor exactly, pointer, whatever. You know what I mean by that. So this thing is like flicking, blinking, and it's possible to identify where we are, and then we can type from that point. So the user started typing, like I said before, like J and after E, and then let's suppose that the user has many contacts with those two characters, like J and E. So Jeff King's, Jeremiah's, Woods, and Jane, Mary Clark's, for instance. This is the contact chip. And then the user decides to select one of them, like here. When the user interacts with that, like typing, this contact chip, this person over here will be selected, and in the next part of the flow, the email will be over here. If the user wants to add more users, the user clicks here and types again, like GE, and this contact chip list will appear again, but without Jeff King's, because Jeff King is already here, right? So the user selected one user, one contact, and then the user goes ahead, typing more things like, okay, I wanna have a subject over here, and then the text itself, like let's suppose here, Jeff King's video call. Hi Jeff, this is Marcus, and I would like to schedule a video call with you. Do you have some free time in your appointment book? If yes, let me know and we can get things done. Forehand, I thank you for your time. See you soon. Regards, Marcus. It's a little not so formal, a little colloquial, but that's okay. And after that, the email itself is ready to go. And after sending this message the user see that we are in the compose section, and then here we are in the inbox section, because after it's a pattern, right? When we are using our Gmail, Yahoo Mail, whatever mail, when we send a message, we don't have anything else, anything more to do in that section. So it's time to go back to the main page, the home page. So the system does that, right? So we go to the inbox section, and the icon here is different because we can tap here, right? In this navigation drawer, it's named navigation drawer. It will be open, and then we will have many sections like send, emails, trash bin, and promotions, and a lot of emails too, you know, favorites, whatever. We go to this part here, this list. So let's suppose that here in the inbox, those messages, they are repeated because I just want to demonstrate that we have a list here. This list has actually its own anatom. Let's explain that a little. We have a photo, we have title, the name of the person we receive it, because here is the part that we receive email. So the person that sent the email to us, the name is here. Then we have the subject here and a little piece of the text. So it's possible just to scan and to see what we want to tap, to open. And then we have here the date. It's named timestamp or date stamp, so it's possible to see when this email arrived. And normally it's like descending order, not ascending. And I mean by that, the last sent email will be here on top, right? So we have this anatom, so we will go in details to do this tutorial, right? Like we do normally. I want to explain something really cool to you. It's a little older, but I like to use this book. It's named Atomic Design by Brad Frost. And Brad Frost was maybe the first guy that talked about components of interface in a detailed way. For example, inside of the book, in many sections, in many pages, chapters, it's illustrated with a really easy and simple way to understand. For example, here, let's suppose these cars, they are interfaces, you know, they are applications, websites, systems. We have here a lot of things, they are untied, they are cluttered, you know. And then when we want to work with components, with elements, it's always a good idea to organize them. For example, yellow with yellow, orange with orange, black with black. Here, they are being grouped by color, by size, by I don't know which more we can do here. But the point is organizing the components, organizing the elements. It's easier to use them to set up things like I want to do a car, so I know where the big pieces are, so I can go to them. I want the tires, like here for example, I know where the tires are, and so on. So I recommend you, if you haven't read this book, I really recommend you. Like I said before, it's a little older. Some people, they don't like, but a lot of people, much more people, they like Atomic Design. So I recommend you can go to Google and Google it, Atomic Design by Brad Frost. Then you can go to images. You will see many good content that may or may not, but I think may help you to improve your knowledge, right? So we got that here. So when I talk about like this, we have atoms, we have molecules, we have organisms, we have templates, pages, states. Most of those information came from these way of thinking atomic design, right? So really recommend you. So let's jump into today's tutorial. Let's go there and do our best. Right, normally when we do tutorials, I don't remember if we go to this section, like going to font sizes. I don't remember really, but now we are going to do that from the scratch. I don't know the reason that I brought that here, maybe to demonstrate, to present this thing, but yeah. Well, so let's click here, design. We will have like I'm selecting something that I don't want. Local, styles, effects, export. Okay, I will press A on my keyboard. So when I want to insert, to make a new frame, frame is page in Figma. So frame, we can press A or F, you know, A or F, both work. So we got here many presets we can use. Like if I wanna do something like social media, I have here Twitter post, Twitter header, Facebook, Instagram, Dribble. If I want to print something, I have here paper, A4, A5, A6. If I'm doing some design or prototyping to watch, I have some sizes here. Only Apple, but I have some here, Apple Watch sizes. If I want to do some presentation, because as part of design routine, it's necessary many times to make presentation, you know, because when we interact with devs, or when we interact with our team or working alone, whatever, normally we open Figma and we show our job. But when we need to go to the board, to stakeholders, to present something really well done, sometimes we need to use slides. So we have here slides. We have desktop. Here in my tutorials, I'm recording most mobile applications, but in the future we will do desktop. So we have here MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, desktop, wireframes, TV. Like we are prototyping some Netflix application for TV, we got that here. We have tablet as well, we have phone, right? Many people, they don't like to consider small screens, but in my case, I like to contemplate, I like to design for the smallest screens, and then I will increasing. I think about responsive design or so, but I like to start with this one, iPhone SE. So clicking here, we got this screen, right? Cool. I don't know if I showed that before. If I did that, I apologize, I'm sorry, but I wanted to bring that here. And then to move, we just need to hover our pointer. When the name will be blue, we can click and drag around. We can click in the middle and drag around as well, so never mind. So let's start. We got this one here. Like usual, we will do things from scratch, but we will use parts, elements we did before. So for example, we have status bar and Android navigation bar, so we don't need to create from the scratch. We just need to come back to some previous tutorial like this one here. I hope you did that, or whatever tutorial you followed here on my channel. So I'm gonna go to some of them. I don't know exactly, just one of them. Like, let me see, the last one, it's gonna be okay. So I will come here, select this part here, Control C, I will go here, let's see where I am, here, Control V. So we don't need to do things from the scratch every time. We can speed up. Here I will type 0 so I can remove these round corners. I will click twice here. We'll move this shape, delete, click twice here, twice again, because I have many groups, twice again. So I got here 0. I wanna have this straight, this sharp. So I will click twice until I get here. Now Control C, select Control V, it will be placed exactly in the same place. The same with this one here. Android navigation bar, be placed here, so we can click here to align. You know, if you have something like this or like this, you just align by center here and then by bottom here. Boom, done. So we speeded up a good part of our job, right? So we have here many atoms, so the atoms of this part, but this part is blue, so we just need to click here twice until we get to the background. Then we open here and we move this little thing here and here too. We got some dark blue like this. If you want to change it here, it's possible as well, like having this pick color, pick here, you know, you decide. The color is up to you. Okay, so we have all these atoms done. All this part here too, all these icons we don't need. We have something new here, right? This one here, the container. We are going to make this container from scratch. So come with me. Press R to rectangle, draw something like this. Then we have these constraints, right? We can open here left and right. And I mean by that, I will press V. If I need to increase, see, the size, this bar here on bottom and this here status bar too, they are being distorted because we didn't do with this proposal, you know. But this one here, it's done this way. It's good. I'm just demonstrating a little part of that, you know. So when you have some shape, you want to have it like following the page size, like thinking about responsive design. See now, it will follow the page's size. It's good, but it's not a subject for today. Now let's have some mid blue. Something like this. The size 48. It's always good to work this way, like 8 pixels grid. You can tap here and then you can increase 8 by 8 by 8, but before it's necessary to verify if your Figma is set correctly. So let's open it here, let's go to preference, and then we go to nudge amount, right? Preference, nudge amount, and here mine is age, the little one and the big nudge. Maybe your stand change to age. It's a rule, it's important. So now we can tap here, height, press shift, and then using your keyboard press up arrow. See, age 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. So it's always good to work this way, right? A little darker, like this. Good one. And now let's draw the elements we need to have here. Compose. We need a back button, a text. I will copy from here, but I'm still talking about atoms, right? Just copying to speed up things, but all the elements that are here I can take from here too, no mind. Cool. So what I need, I have this one here. I showed you before how to make icons. You know, let's suppose that I want to have some icon just to refresh. Press R, draw some shape like this, no matter the color. That might be red, for instance. Okay. Then we will remove the constraints. Let's type 32 by 32, for instance. Then constrain it. Now, if I increase, like pressing and holding Shift and then up arrow, you see it increases together, like 64 by 64. If I go arrow down, it will decrease, right? So it's a good way to think about things. Okay, I will call that background. All right, and then I will draw, like pressing P, I will draw something like this. I can draw and press Shift, so my line will follow some proportion. Then I move and press ESC. Then I press V. I will open it here, and I will have my round line. If you zoom in, you see it's round, it's more beautiful, right? And the thickness, the special, you know, it will be like 4, I think so. 4 is okay. So now we can accommodate it here, like here. The size, I think that's okay. We can measure here inside. Many people, they like to have like 2, you know, 2 by 2 by 2. The padding, I showed you before that too. I will select this red one here. I'm gonna duplicate it. So we got 2 here, and then I'm gonna change this color just to see better. So many people, when they create icons, they do this. I'm gonna duplicate. I showed you before how to do that. Press and hold Alt, then you press and drag around. So just to refresh, to review, because I think there are many times we don't do icons together. I will do just this one, and then you can do by yourself most of them, right? We have this padding, this internal margin, and then people, they go this way, respecting. It doesn't matter if you don't hit this part here and here too. It's not important. The importance is the proportion. Like I can't transpass like this, but if I respect inside, top and bottom, in some cases, depending on the position, I have to respect this way, left and right, and always align it by center. You know, you just move things, and Figma will show us like, oh, you are in the middle. See here, I have horizontal and vertical lines. They are red, and they are demonstrating me that I am in the middle. So it's easier to do. Let's move that. Let's find the middle. The middle is here. Okay. Okay, good, done. Then I can, I have many background. I can select, click out of the shapes, then drag like this, press and hold Shift, click here. Now we selected all of them. Ctrl G, let's name background. In the future, I expect to make many tutorials teaching how to make icons properly, many types of icons. Just wait for that. Okay, now I can group them together, like Ctrl D. I can call that, for instance, back button, something like this will be fine. Here I will call icon, so I have background, icon, and back button is the entire thing. I click twice here to select the background, and here I can do something like 0, you know, because now when I select, I can see the proportion, I can see the margins, I can see the real size for it, right? And then I just need to click twice, and then I will change its color to white. So we have an icon, right? We just move here, it's too big, right? Too big. So we are diminishing, like we can click here, remember to constrain proportions, click here, press shift, down arrow, 1, 2, 24. 24 is okay, but the stroke is not that good. I will change to 2. It's softer now. Let's see what we got here. Here we have 16. Maybe I will diminish a little more. Let's try 16. I don't know. Let's go this way. Then we can change after. I will change its height. It's too height. Diminishing here. And now aligning properly. Select here. 6, maybe 8 for upper. 16 here. You know, it's always good or important to have 16 here. And then here, that might be H2, like, see, H top, 8 bottom, 16 left. It's perfect. So we got the first part. Let's see the size here. 51, let's see here. Oops. 32. Maybe we increase that later. But let's go ahead. We have this compose. It is Roboto 16 medium. So let's type from the scratch. Compose. Roboto. It's already there. You know, but you can change. Like, let's suppose that was Arial. You change to Roboto. Just type Roboto. Regular will be medium. 16, it's okay. So let's align. Move it here. The distance 16, I think so. To keep things this way. 8. And here 8. But see, now it's 5. It's hard to align icons and texts, but it's part of the job. Select here, we got auto is okay, line height. We just need to align 2 of them here. Select the 2 of them and click here. We will align vertically. And now we are going to consider not like 9 and 7. We are going to consider 8 and 8 of this one. We can even group them just for a while. See, I got 8 here and I got 5 here, so I need to increase 1, 2, 3, 35. Now I got 8. See, we have to respect the content because the content is fluid, so we have to accommodate things. 8 pixels, 8 pixels, 16 pixels here, 16. Again, H16, right? So we have our first part here. I can ungroup now because we understood that. If I want to measure again, I select both of them. I won't measure separate anymore because if I do that, our icon will be a little different, right? Okay, we got the compose part and we need to have this little icon here. So let's draw that. Easier to do as well. We can get this template, this little part here. Then I will click twice. I will type 100 here. I want to see the color, right? Because that's gonna be easier to draw inside. I'm gonna delete this icon and I just have the background and the grouping named back button, just that, and a lot of small pieces inside. To draw this one here, it's easier. We just press P, click here, something like this, because you can change that later. I can come here, change the stroke to 1, and keep going. These red lines show me that I'm aligned. I will click here, then here. Doesn't matter if that is right or wrong, because we can improve that later. See, mine is awful, it's terrible, but now I can align. I can make that better. I click twice here and I can edit these anchors. See, I move here, move this one here. See, they are aligned because this red line is showing me they are aligned. See, align it. Now I think I have to move it a little here. It's pretty cool. Not perfect, but you got my point. Like here, it seems okay. We can do something like this too, like this too. It's getting a good shape, I think so. Yeah, something like this. See, not that good, not that bad, but works. With time, calmly, you can improve that. I trust you. I know you can. Cool. So we got a pretty similar icon. We just need to make it fit here. See, almost there. I just need to diminish a little bit, like here. Centralize, like here. It's okay now. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't fit that good, so we can do little tricks, you know, to adjust. You know, I stretched it a little bit and now it's doing better. Now I call that icon, right? And now I press Ctrl X, I click here twice and I paste. Now we got background and the icon is inside of the background. See the icon here. This is the reason I like to name things, because we can find them easily. Click here and move here. It's out of the background now, but inside of the grouping, right? If I hide, all of them are hide. Cool. I just need to select the background and make it like same, but see, we can't hide the background. We need to type 0 here, so we have all this margin, padding, whatever. Got it. So we got these two. We just move it here. 16. Let's see. 8, not feeling well. Same energy. What we can do here is align the 3 of them. They are already aligned. So now, considering that, we can bring some name for them, like, I don't know how we can call that. Here we have the status bar, and here it's named API bar. So let's group. I will call content, and together with this background we have the API bar. Ctrl G. Now we got API bar. So API bar inside of the app bar we have the content. They are aligned because I grouped all of them, because separate they were working well, because my text, it doesn't have a right height. See here, 19, it's auto, it's okay, but 19 isn't that good. I could maybe increase it here, you know, a little, and align by center. Something like this could work. Like 16 isn't a good idea, because 16 is the font size. I have to have at least like 2.5, 2.7, 3, like here, you know. So it's good. So we have these little things to think about, right? But let's align again, because I did some messy here. Cool. Then we align here, click out, click in. H by H, 16 by 16. Now it's okay. So we have this first part, the compose section, but we got to do more. What more do we have here? Let's see. I'm gonna call this one here home, to be organized like I said before. So we have the status bar over here, the app bar with some actions, and here we got navigation bar. Things are well done, they really are. Now we have to draw. We have these texts here, and we have this divider lines we call divider. So let's see in our molecule, just to see the example. So we got these two, then we got this line. Okay, easy to do. Let's see the properties. We got Roboto 12 mid-gray 2. So change it here, find Roboto, regular, find 12, and find some mid-gray like this. Don't be so concerned about, oh, the exactly mid-gray. It's not the case, right? 16, because in the future we will create style guides, design systems, and in that moment will be time to take care of those things. So yeah. And I was talking about responsive design. See the background, it fits. And we could, for example, this one here, if we ungroup, just to demonstrate, we ungroup, right? I select this icon here, I will change the constraint to right, because when I increase its size, see, the icon goes together. Cool, right? Thinking about responsive design. This is not the subject, but just to give you a little smell of what will be next in the future. Not next exactly, next tutorial, but next in the future, one day. Okay, let's see. Here, for example, I like to work this way. I take this, this part here, and I scale to hit here, the border, and then I type -16. Now it's okay. I ungroup it, I will group again. I call that content. Content. Now we got these two, right? So with these two, let's measure that 8 pixels grid like we talked before. 8, 16, it's okay. So we got these two. To make this line, it's easier, this divider, we just type PE, or we can come here, take a line, press L, you know, L to line. We draw a line, we change its color. Let's see. Yeah, we can consider, let's see our example here. The line respects the border, the grid. Here I was using 24, but no matter, 24 or 16, you decide. Okay, 16 here too. I'm gonna call that divider. Align it properly. Here too, let's see, maybe 8, I think so. Let's see our example. 16, curious. I'm gonna go with 8. I prefer 8 this time. Maybe when I did that before I was preferring 16, but now I think 8 is gonna be better. Okay, hit here, minus 16, cool. Let's group. I'm gonna call this one form. I'm gonna go with the same shade of gray, BD. BD, whoops, I'm so sorry, BD, no, BD, yes. So I'm gonna group then. This one I'm gonna call input. This one divider, cool. Select both of them, Control G for guava. Input. So input is the components. Here it is text, not input. Text is better, you know, explaining more the things. Molecule, I'm sorry, atom, molecule. So we have this input, right? I could even call this one here text or app or title, something like this. Here I could call text. That could be cool. Now I will press Ctrl D, right? Then I will drag like this, and I'm gonna use a thing named auto layout. I showed that before in some situations, but not in deep, and not today. Today I'm not going to show in deep, but I just want to use it here. Select here and here, right? Or click and drag like this. Come here in the section. Here we have this auto layout. Click here, and now it's named frame 3. We have 2 inputs, right? I'm gonna call inputs plural like this. Auto layout is good because we can control things. Let's suppose I will have one more. I just press Ctrl D. It will understand. It will be placed like here, right? And now we got here 14. We can change to H. We can increase to 16, 32, 24. You know, it's gonna be easier, so easier to work with auto layouts. So cool. So when we have many things they are similar, let's try to use more auto layout. And let's see which more we have here. Yeah, for the first one, see title, text, just that. Yeah, but for the last one, we don't have this line for this last one here. So I can select here. I will click twice like normally we do, twice again, select the line, and I will press 0 here. I have the line yet, but it's not being displayed anymore because there is no reason for that now. Cool. So we have the first piece of our tutorial, the first part of the flow. Now we just I'm sorry I'm sorry again. Now we just know to follow. We have the main structure. We just need to go on. 32 maybe. I'm trying to have a little more of a negative space. Negative space is good, like not having things too, you know, too closer. We call that negative space. Negative space. Cool. So the first part is done. We will keep going to the next one. Let's see the flow I showed before. See, this first part here we have, right? I'm gonna bring our screen to this part here for this moment so we can see better. We can even compare. They are pretty similar. What we need, what we got here is a little shadow, this drop shadow. Let's make it too. We select this blue background. See, just the blue background. We open here. We got a background. We just need to adjust a little bit. I prefer to have things like, let's see, not so strong, something like 16. It's okay. Maybe here too, and that's okay, just to have some little elevation. Elevation is another way of calling shadows, elevations. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, I don't know. I will keep that this way. You can see that that is a little elevation here. So this first part is okay. Now we are going to move it here. What we do here, we click twice, and we can or just once maybe, yes, I will do exactly the same. Here it's gonna be like this, 0, because the user clicked here, right? The next one, don't forget, we need to change the names as well, like home here, I don't know, maybe home 2, you know, something to help you to remember, or the name of the interaction. Home, for example, selecting here, that might be, it's more useful, I think so. Typing, but type in what? Type in title, maybe. So see that now we need to change to black. Many people, they don't like to work with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, the total black colors. They go like some shade of dark gray, you know. It's better not working totally with white and with black, but it's a subject to another tutorial. Cool. And now I have to type 100 here as well, and let's see. Actually, I will go in a different way. I will step back there to talk about atomic design. Then after we have all things set up correctly, we go ahead. So for now, let's talk about the states. Yeah, black, 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 because they are active in this case. Here they are not empty, but there is no text when a person click and will start typing something, right? Even the names we changed then after, you know. Now I'm just gonna call, it's easier to understand, believe me, trust me. Yeah, cool. Here the state would be something like this when the user is about to type. And then we select here. We are not seeing, but we know they are here, the inputs, right? We can select the here, and the color and the opacity is gonna be 100. And I don't remember exactly the color here, but then we can change. They were not totally black. They were something like this. 0F. Cool. And then we have more states, but just to, you know, to make that sure, because I want to get to this point. This point is really important. Okay, we have here, and now it's time to create this little avatar with all this text. We just need to end this little small part over here. So let's see what we got here. I will bring one of these, copying. Roboto 14 regular. Name, surname. So Roboto 14 regular. Color, that color we defined 0F. Cool. So we got a name and a surname. We need email now, right? Roboto regular 11. So it's gonna be email, something like this. It's gonna be Roboto. We can type as well 11. Click here and type regular. It's possible to make two. 81 H1 81. Cool. And contact chip. Let me see if we have more thing. I don't think so. Just a line, but a divider. We draw a divider before, so it's gonna be easier to do. You can copy from here. Control C, click out, Control V. If, for instance, it was pasted here, we can click and drag. Done. We can use auto layout here too. It's really good. People, they love auto layout. We can have things like this, for instance, you know, untied. We come here and apply auto layout. Things will be aligned a little by center. In this case, we can click here to align by left, and we can diminish. All the spaces will be the same between them, you see? And we can name, like, we can have even this little photo here. You know how to take photos. I showed you before in other tutorials, so it's gonna be easier, not hard for you. But we can even use some placeholder like this. And now that I have this auto layout, you see, we can select things separate, or click here and move things around like a page. It's more powerful than just a group. Contact chip, I'm gonna call that. If I place my new element here, like this avatar, let me show you how I did this avatar. I did a circle, just easier, 40 by 40, I think so. And then I used some stroke, something like, not totally white, but that might be white, no problem. Let's see, 32. Yeah, something like this. A little darker. Yeah, just that. And I called avatar, just that. Easy this way. Cool. Then when we move things here inside of the auto layout, it's impossible to align them properly because we need to have an auto layout inside of the auto layout. Just for a matter of learning, when we don't want to have auto layout anymore, we can just click here, select the auto layout, and then click here. And then we can, we will have something like a sort of frame. If I don't want to have a frame anymore, Control Shift G. When I select things, boom, I don't have anything anymore, just elements separate. So select here, auto layout. I like to have then contact chip. But like I said before, I want to have my contact chip this way here, you know, but using auto layout that way, that's impossible. So I have to think, I need to have one auto layout here and here. Then I will have another auto layout to have these two elements, and a third auto layout to align with this line. It's a little strange to understand, but I'm gonna show you. It will be easier to understand. So Control G, like I demonstrated. I need to place things first. First thing, considering the spacing I want to use, the line, something like this. We can change after. Here, maybe it's better to be this way without space, right? So first of all, auto layout here. I'm gonna call text, something like this. Okay, then I will select here and here, and I will apply one more time auto layout. So now I have one auto layout inside of another auto layout. See here, I have here text. We can select here, it will be demonstrated here, and we have avatar here. I will call avatar. I will change it to photo, something like this. So we got two. See, we open it here. No, really, not avatar. I'm gonna call, let's think, content, something like this. Content, photo, and text. Okay. And then we got this line here too. Let's try to drag this line here. See what happens. You see? Doesn't work. Because we should select this content and this line and apply auto layout here. Now we have control over all things. Actually, this one I'm gonna call contact chip, because I'm talking about the whole, the entire. And see here, I have this control here. When I select contact chip, I can increase and decrease the line, right? So control the line, something like 4. We are talking about 8 pixels grid, but sometimes, yeah, or 8, just to be sure. Then I click twice here. See, I have this distance, and when I select this one here, I can change the left alignment. See, I can align here, I can align, you know. For example, if I select this one here, I can align by center. I have this line here too. Let's see. If I select here contact chip, see, I can align by center because I have this big line here, right? But I want to select the contact chip and align by left and top. This line is too big. What we can do with that, see, it's fixed here. It appears when I am working with auto layout. So I will select this one here. I can fill container. See, the line will be the same as the text. If this text go bigger, the line will follow. See, auto layout has many good things, but we are not going to see all of them by now. And we can control the line like fixed. I want to have fixed width. I can move like this too. It's not a problem. The same for height. That might be fixed or fill container, right? So I will create a tutorial just to talk about auto layout because it's a really cool subject. So we got this one here, contact chip. Yep, we got this contact chip, but I still need to have a background to my contact chips. In auto layout, they can have fill. See here, it's like a group. We select here and we have this fill. We can open and select white. It went white as well. I have this padding inside of my auto layout too, so I can have here like 8 and 8 here too, you know. And now I can have something more well done. Let's see here. Or I can manually work with that. Let's see what's possible to make here, because my line, I don't want it to be like this. I want my lines to fill the space, but if you see, they are following. I don't know if that's gonna be a problem too. Let's see. I will duplicate it here, and I will like make them together, and I can apply auto layout here too. See, and now when I duplicate, I can have many of them. It will be really similar to this one here. The line is lighter, but similar. Yeah, I can work in many ways, like I said before. Contact chips. And we can duplicate forever, right? And then we can have some shadow here, like I showed before too. Effects. See, just diminish a little bit here, just a little more blur, like H. Something like this will be fine. See, it's cool. I could even have a little stroke, just a small stroke outside, light gray, something like this, just to demonstrate that there are some shape here, right? It's pretty cool. And I can hide because I don't have any contact under this line, so I can select. I can press and hold Control. I select it here, and then I press 0 here. See, just cool. Yeah, I think that we have all that we need to do the flow. See, that is one state here. Here, image. You got the point. So let's explain. We started doing these atoms separated. Then we started grouping as molecules. We did this bar, then this molecule to subject, email. We did this molecule to join things. Then we got organisms, repetition like this one here. It's hard to pronounce, organisms. So we have many organisms. I have to train that. Organisms, right? We started grouping things. Here it was separated, but now it's together, like this one here too. Together too. Then we go to templates without real information, and then we go to pages. We will do that. And they state just active and hover, just 2 states. Of course, it could have more states, but for a while, just 2 states, they are gonna be fine. So we can jump into the now finally we can jump into the flow, because my point was I want to show you, I don't know if I made myself understood, but my point was to show you we have this template here, right? And now we are going to, because we understood, we remembered, because before we studied that, we talked about atoms, molecules, right? I like to stress this subject. Atoms all separate, molecules join atoms. This little icon was an atom, this little icon was an atom, I joined them, right? And things, they start being different. Organisms, and now I got that. Organisms, oh, I'm sorry, I was too excited talking. Organisms, and I made something wrong here. Well, and here too, then templates, we got this template here, and then we just need to change the background color. It's easier to do, and then we will have pages, right? It's gonna be easier. For this reason, I said it's time to go here. I will separate for a while my templates, and I recommend you to organize your things. Always I say that, like this, do this, have these atoms, you know, do by yourself. Molecules, organize. After the tutorial is finished, you watch it, do that. Organize. Organisms, so atoms, molecules, organisms, templates, do that, you know, to have reference. So when you need to present your job, to talk to someone, it will be easier to do, right? Okay, now just time to do the flow. And this flow from this point, it's gonna be easy to do, I think so. Will not take a lot of time because we did most of the things we needed. So let's do that. I will separate this part here, then we can organize later. Just separate here as a template. Let's see what we need. So this point, we just need something like this. Then we can have this sort of interaction here, and we can go to Google, like something hand point, something like this, hand point. We see images, icon, something like this. We see, yeah, something really simple. That is a thing really useful, but I will separate some time in the future so we can do that more properly. But now it's just really quickly. I will copy this one here, for instance, something like this or like this, you decide. Then we come back here. We can select this screen, Ctrl V to paste, and now you can say, but how can we make this this image transparent? With opacity, we can come here, pass through, and then select multiply. And now we can't just move like this because we have this auto layout. We need to have something before we can move things. I will give you two different sort of options. The first one is we select, then we go moving with up arrow, right? When we move with up arrow, we will not have problem. But if we need to click here and move things around, like I move it out, then I will move in again, it will be inside of the auto layout. So this is one way. The other one is selecting, and I can lock like this, and now I can move things, right, like this way. And when I finish it, I can come here and unlock. Another way to do that, I'm gonna rename it and point something like this, And now let's see the example over here. A little smaller, right? Something like this, but doesn't work that good because we have this line over here. So we need to move a little more just to demonstrate. Doesn't need to be perfect. I just want to show some interaction, right? You can try to find out another icon like this. Okay, and now it's gonna be transparent. This text over here gonna be transparent, right? Like 0, and here it's gonna be the same one for a while. So let's duplicate. I click here on the name, on its name, and then I press Ctrl D to duplicate. The distance between them will be 40, as you can see here. If I do that again, 40 again, right? Ctrl Z. And here I started typing J. So let's do that here. I can come here. There is a shortcut that can help us in this case. We see, press, let me see if I can remember by memory. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can remember. There is a couple of times I don't use this, but it's something like view. Let's see. No. Frame outlines. This one here, I think so. No. Sorry about that. View. Panels. Not mask outlines. Show outlines, not frame outlines, but show outlines. We see. View. Outlines. Shift O. Now, if we need, we can see only the outline, so I can figure out my text over here. Clicking twice, and I know where it is. I have a J, and this sign here. Press ESC, Ctrl O. Oops, sorry about that. Ctrl 0. No. What was the shortcut? View, outlines, Shift O. I'm so sorry about that. Shift O. Now it's okay. And I change. We decided to pick up a color over here, but I don't remember what color was that. I'm gonna go with black, then 100%. So I can let's see. I can. We have that in some part over here. I don't remember anymore, but never mind. The point is some darker color. I will pick up another one like we see here. 27 for instance, so 27. And here the user started typing. Next part of the flow, we have the information right here. I can hide for now. Something like this. I can hide here too, because my cursor is different. And here, I will copy from here. We'll select here, paste. Ctrl V, let me see the alignment. It's a little round, like 2 pixels. Yes, I'm gonna make it a little round too. Selecting this, yes, it's gonna be a little harder here. Click twice, and then we will use this part here, independent corners. Here it's gonna be 2, and here 2, 2. Click out and see. I was wrong. Maybe here 2, 2. wrong too. I think I need to go here to the whole group, right? And here independent two. And now we can see a little rounds in the corners, but not here. I don't know the reason. Contact chips. That should be easier to identify. I don't know the reason. I will try something like 8. Let's see. Oh, I see that now. Okay, I know the reason. Because we need to do this separate. Let's see if I am right or wrong. See, now it's okay. Independent, I did in the whole, and then I entered only this one here, and then I entered only this one here. Two bottom. You can see the figure here. Two this corner, and here the up corners. So this and this one here I don't need. It's gonna be 0. It's gonna be 0 here too. I think you got the point. We can select here, make all of them round, all the corners, or click here and make them independent. Cool. Let's suppose we are typing NA for name and then surname, and here just to demonstrate it. This one here is our template, not our pages yet, just the template. I use it for here, it's not a problem. Then we have this selected part, some color to contrast like this one here. But when I do that, it's necessary to change the text color as well. It's gonna be like white, and in here light gray, something like this. And the line, I expected the line to be here in the middle, so it makes more sense, right? How can we solve this? We can select and move like this, or we can diminish its size. Let's see, one by one. It's been hug in this case. We see not this, maybe is fixed height, and then we can try something like this until we hit the line, something like this. We have 48, so this one is gonna be fixed height 48 to all of them. Fixed height is the size, like, you know, fixed 48 here too, fixed, because I'm determining a size that I'm typing right here, so it's fixed. And then I have to change here too. I can select, like, clicking twice here, press and hold shift, then you can click here, here, and here, and change all of them. Fixed height 48. See, all of them are changed, and now it's okay. And it's hard to place the line in the middle. You can see I can have the line a little down or a little upper, but in the middle it's hard. So this way it's working right, trust me. And now we need to use this cursor again, and it's not gonna be useful because we should have this one here. The cursor should be something in contrast. So in this case, I think it's better to go to the right place. I'm gonna use another thing, a SVG for instance. It's gonna be better. Let's see, SVG or PNG maybe. No background, something like this. I'm wasting time, to be honest. Let's go to Google Fonts. Type material, symbols, and icons. Let's see what happens. Go to this one here. It's for free, right? We have a lot of icons. We can type here hand, something like this. See this one here. We can change the category, not material symbols, but material icons. I was expecting to show you in other situation to explain in details, but I can do that in the future, but by now it's gonna be okay. So we have this touch app. We just need to come here, PNG or SVG, or even let's see, PNG. So we have that here now. I will open, it's zip. I can open this one here, and now I'm gonna go back to my layout. Let's see if that works. No, I'm gonna download another format, SVG. Let's see. Yes, now I can drag and drop. See, the same one I use it. Touch app back icon. It has its own structure. I can delete this frame or even keep that. I move out just this hand, right? It's a group. I will delete this frame over here. I don't need it. For now, I'm gonna call hand point. Cool. Now I will place in the place that makes sense. Here I will replace, I will select, always it's necessary to select the artboard, the frame. I paste, I can change its color, selecting some color in contrast with the interface, for example, something like this, or even orange, red, some color that I don't need in my, I don't have in my interface, right? So now I can use this way. I will copy from here, I will select here, actually here, I'm gonna paste, you see. Then I move around, so now it makes more sense. So now we can see, we can demonstrate the interaction, it's being selected over here. Cool. Now we go ahead. I select here, Control D like I showed before. I can delete some parts. And let's suppose that I select that. Now I have email arroba, I'm sorry, arroba is in Portuguese, email at or handle email.com, something like this. And now I can demonstrate that I could have filled all the rest. I will duplicate here too. I can demonstrate the interaction here too, copy and paste, selecting the artboard always. Let's suppose I'm typing something here too in this step. I can select here, copy, just to copy the style. Actually no, didn't work. Choose 7, I can type it here. 27. Now here I'm typing, I have nothing typed, I have just some cursor blinking here. And then in this one here I can have all my text. I can go to lorem ipsum. Do you know that? I don't know if I showed you before. I think I did. So lorem ipsum is Latin fake text. Ipsum with M, not N. We can use that to have some dummy data while we are doing our layout. I'm drinking some water here. Okay, we just generate some lorem ipsum, and then we can copy some small parts of the text. Like I'm gonna copy this one here. This one here is gonna be the subtitle, like this. And here I'm gonna go with 272727, and I'm gonna copy a bigger piece of lorem ipsum to be my text, my body text, like this. And I can have some paragraphs like this. I can copy a little more like this, and that's gonna be okay. Just some dummy data to have information, to see how things looking like in my layout. Cool, just perfect. And then here I'm gonna duplicate this last one here. Here we got a different sort of things, right? We have to delete this part here. We can take this part which is right. We can use most of that, just accommodating, placing it here like 16. That's okay. I don't want to have any drop shadow anymore. I can remove. I don't want to have any line, any border, so I can remove too. They are similar somehow. Let's see what we can do here. I just duplicated, Control D, right? So I have this text, it is text. I can have some lorem ipsum here. I will copy from here. I will paste it here. Then I will paste it here too. And here too, why not? But here it's gonna be small, like here it's gonna be bigger, like 14. Let's see what I use it here. 12 semi-bold. So I'm gonna go with the same 12 semi-bold. So 12 semi-bold to have some balance. Semi-bold. Here I use it 10 regular. 10 regular. And for this one here, H light, right? H light. Light. H. We see. Yeah, something like this. I'm gonna change that again to have fill container. Actually hug contents, so I can see again my line, right? Because it wasn't appearing, because now I have 3 lines. Before I had 2. I'm gonna duplicate this, Control D, Control D. This is the beauty of working with auto layout. I'm gonna delete here, right? I need to increase its size, so I can just increase. Can have like 16 here too. Let's increase a little bit, a little more. It's right now. Now see the beauty of auto layout. I will select this part and I can come here and decide fill container, because I have a big container here. Now I select this line, in the line I say fill container. you know, it will fill the big container. It's so beautiful. I really love this. And actually I can duplicate this one, which is right, but before I want to have this date stamp, this timestamp, 8 bold, September. It's in Portuguese, like actually it's September, not set. It's September. No matter, we are in December. So we can have something like this. Let's see how we can do that using auto layout. I'm gonna select this block, duplicate, Ctrl D. It will be placed beside because we have more auto layouts configured this way. Now I'm gonna group the two of them, this one and this one. Actually, I won't group. I will use one more auto layout because they are infinite. Now I'm gonna align like this. No, but just this block here. Actually, I will select here, here, and here. Then we will do this. And then oh, I see. It needs to be like fill container and fill container 2. Good. Now I will select this one here and this one here. I will apply auto layout again, and I can have this control, like, let's see, I can align this way because I have the control. I group it, two of them, and they are a auto layout. They can have margin, they can have space between them. Cool. I'm gonna name it as text, and this one here, let's see. I did, it's repeated, so I can press Ctrl Shift G because they are repeated. And here we are talking about text. I do that here because I did twice the same thing. 24, and here we got 16 by 6. Yes, cool. And but we just have one of this, right? So I'm gonna click many times until I get this text. I will delete, and I will delete this one here too. And now this one that remains, I will align like this in the middle. Maybe it's a little confusing if you never use it auto layout, but like I said before, one day in a short-term future, I will do more tutorials of auto layout so you can understand. But you can pause my video, watch again, and I don't think that it's gonna be hard to do, not for you. Okay, so December, today 11 2022, 8 like we saw before, and bold. So we got that. We can just duplicate here, 1 2 3 4, as much as we think it's necessary, perhaps 2 more. And let me say that all the things I'm doing here, you can do using group. It's okay too. Select here, we need to have this hug content. Now it's okay. So like I was saying before, you can do all of that using groups, or even not using nothing like I showed about auto layout. You can do like placing things on the screen and doing. It's not a really complicated thing. If you don't want to use that, you don't need. Now I need to select here Ctrl X, Ctrl V, because it has a scroll, if you can understand what I'm doing. You know, we can scroll down having many contacts over here. So it's important to consider the user has to see, oh, it seems like I have more things to see. I need to scroll down. And then the colors you can change after. But here we have this little message. Like I said before, it's named snack bar. Snack bar is when we have this interaction like undo, close, okay, dismiss. And when we don't have this little one here, it's named toast, just informative without interaction. Okay, let's see. Let's copy from here. I'm gonna paste it here. Cool. We are going to do that now together. 27233. Draw a rectangle, whatever size. 27233. A blue, like this brand blue, I believe so. Yes, this one here. So we can open it here, select here, pick the color, border radius 2. So it will be a little round here. The text inside of here, Roboto 8, the same one we used here. 10, 8. But regular. So let's paste it here. Sometimes we paste it, it goes in the wrong way. So we can click, drag, and move. Control X, Control V. Now I see. It's gonna be regular. Yes, regular white. I will select both of them and align by the middle. And here I'm using 16, I think so. Yes, 16 over here. It's okay. 12, 12 is not a big problem. But if you are annoyed, we can use 8 here or 16. Yes, just like this. So we got this one. We can use auto layout to have one more. I'm gonna duplicate, select both of them, auto layout. I'm gonna name content, for instance. And inside we have text and link. Cool. We are seeing this name here. Sometimes it happens, I'm seeing here content, because I'm not placing this container inside of a page, inside of a frame like this. When I do that, when I will move things to here, it will disappear, but will be still here. And now I click here, content. I have the control to do that, right? So I can move until I get the other side, and I will have 16 like this. And now it's perfect. Now I select this one here. I will change left by right aligning, because when I will have text here, oops, not the way I was expecting. This one here is right, and this one here is, that should auto layout. Yeah, then I see what we do with that. But I'm gonna just for a while have something like this, just for a while. Yeah, and I will move things more here, just something like this. We will change. This is just a placeholder. This bar is too thin. I will increase its height. I will select the content, select here. I don't know if I need something too bigger, but you got the point. You decide. You'll have time to do that by yourself. Yes, it comes here. So you can see that there are many ways to work with auto layout. I'm gonna make it bold. I'm gonna select it, Control G. I'm gonna name snack bar. Cool. And I will place inside here. But see what happens. Like I told you before, we have many ways to deal with that. One of them is locking. Now we can select, cut and paste it here. Then we can align something like this, 24 by 24. It's okay. And after if I want to select this one here, this thing that I locked just now, it's impossible to select. I need to come here to unlock, or I can go here, right click. Now it's selected. I can just come here and unselect and it's okay. Right click. Cool. Or here, lock, then again lock, unlock. Many ways. Now it's okay. So all the things are set, but here at this point we have another icon, and we did that before. Let's try to find that. I don't remember anymore where it is, but we can find together. App bar here, just here. So let's copy from here, of course. Let's see if that is well done. No, not really, but it works. Contact chip, I will just delete it here, because when we are here, home screen, things work this way. White, I will place more or less like this. You know, you can organize, align all the things then by yourself. For a while, just something like this, it's gonna work. It's not so well aligned, so we can try something like this. Yes, I'm robbing a little bit. Yeah, just for a while, then we can change it. Okay. Yeah, we got that. We have all the interactions, they are made, we did all the things, and now it's time to fill up, because let's recap before we fill up with real information. We did the atoms, right? Then we did the molecules. After that, we did the organisms. It's so hard to pronounce. Organisms. I will train that more. Then we are here, templates, right? We have templates. And now it's time to pages. Why not? We did the interactions too. Now it's time to pages, to fill up with real data. So we see now we got the person, subject, and email. The name here is compose. It's just real information. Compose to subject and text, depends on the application. Text, email, you know. Maybe Yahoo Mail is like this. Maybe Gmail is different, so no mind. Okay. Here it remains. Compose. I can copy and paste to speed up time. And here too. Cool. No, I'm doing wrong. I'm sorry. Sometimes I do that. I'm so excited to finish the tutorial that I'm skipping important steps. I'm sorry about that. Yes, it has to be like this. I have to duplicate, and I could I can even delete this one. Yeah, for now. I have home, I have here home, and here I can call email interaction, something like this. Email interaction. Here I can call type in email, just to identify easier. Type in email. Here I can call like contact chip. Contact chip interaction. You decide then the names you want to use. The important is to make something that works for you, for your team, and so on. Contact chip interaction. Email field, something like this. Email field, and here filling, subject. Whoa. Filling subject. Here I can use something like all field, and here email list, something like this. Now it's gonna be easier to duplicate and to use real data. And you can think, whoa, but I really need to do all of that. Well, when we are componentizing things and so on, it's important to have templates, to have components. And normally the components, the templates, they are like this: title, text, 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 you know, because we can use these inputs in many situations. Not exactly a component will always be for email. No, it can be for many proposals. So it's important to have this thing in mind. When we are componentizing things, it's better to think this way, like templates, like information that will not make other designers in the team confused, like, oh, you know, you have to be neutral. So yes, I would say that yes, the person or the team that is doing design system, style guides, and things like this, they will work in this level. You know, they will prepare all the templates, the components, all the things the other designers need, and then the other designs, they will take this part here in some files, some library, some design system. Then they will place things here like I'm doing, and they will fill up real information like, oh, choose subjects and email and compose, because they will use the inputs in these flows. So here, so all parts are necessary, right? Compose, email, subject. And I like to, when I create things to help people and to help myself as well, because I'm making these tutorials to help myself. Like, I want to, you know, to do things. I'm feeling this necessity of creating something a little slightly different of the job I do normally. So I want to help people, and I can help myself too. Okay, subject, and here we have a message, something like this. And now I can copy from here like this, like this. We have about less than 5 minutes to finish this tutorial. Don't worry. Compose, compose, compose. Part of the design job is to be patient, if you know what I mean by that. And I think that to have patience, it's important, because many times we have to approve our tasks, our job with other people, with stakeholder, clients, other designers, developers, and many people, and we have to be patient. It's a really important part, like soft skills. Okay, and here I'm gonna use the same example. It's gonna be JE, and here it's gonna be like this: subject, message, and here JE. I can copy from here to speed up time. Can copy from here too, because I don't want to waste time. You know, now that we have all the things, they are right, they are set, I can go this way. Let's see what I use it over here. Jeff King's Jeremiah's Woods. Jeff King's Jeremiah's Woods. Jeremiah's Woods. Jeff King's Jeremiah's Woods. Jean Mary Clark's. Is that right? With K, Clark's, it's different. Mary. With K, Clark's. Okay. And here one more, let's see. Jenna Johnson, something like this. So the emails, let's fake the emails. Jeff.kings@gmail.com. Jeremiah's like this. Yahoo.com. .com, really older. And here Johnson at gmail.com. Right, so let's go to the internet. I'm gonna find out some portrait photos, UI design, something like this. Let's see. Images. Okay, I can use those here just for a matter of study. That is no problem. Okay, this one here, let's copy. Jeff Kings is here. See, Figma is really good because it understands the right way to place photos inside of that. It's really cool. More, now we have Jeremiah's Woods, this guy here, and Jane, this one here, and Gina. Let me try to find someone like this. Gina. Okay. Okay, now I have all of them, right? And I can copy from here. I can do something really cool, but yes, no, I won't. I will just enjoy what I did before. It's gonna be better. Copy from here, paste it here. I'm gonna move a little down like this. I'm gonna press and hold Ctrl, click here, press I, pick up the color from here, change its color here to white. This one here, light gray. Something like this, and I'm gonna delete here, and I'm gonna move up. Press and hold Shift and move using up arrow. To be exactly in the same position, we can select it here, right? Press and hold Alt, point in this direction, and we can see it's not aligned in the middle, but 92 here, 92, you can see. So we can use the same 1, 2, 92, exactly the same, and 54 to the left. That's okay. Perhaps a little more like here. Yeah. And here too. Good. And then I have to demonstrate the interaction. Press and hold shift and move things down arrow like this. Just perfect. And now we selected Jeff Kings at gmail.com. Let's do the same. Jeff.kings handle at whatever gmail.com. In this point we don't have subject yet, so let's copy from here. Let's copy this one here too, paste here too. Oops. Subject. Cool. Message over here. Cool. And here we have all the information. So in this case I'm gonna copy, right, to speed up the tutorial, because I typed this text before, and you can use whatever text you want, but I recommend some text like this, some text that makes sense. You see, we can pause the video and use the same text, just changing the signature to your signature, right? And here we can say that we received emails from those people here too. So we can press and hold Ctrl, click here, and now right click. We can come here, copy properties. Cool. Come here, paste properties. We can use the same avatar. Do the same here. I will try to make with more than one. I haven't done that before, but I'm gonna try. Copy properties, because Figma is so clever. Maybe it's gonna work. And paste properties. See? Haha. It's too much. Too much. One by one. Copy properties. And as you see, I am in the wrong place again, but I have this copy here. But no mind, no mind, it happens. Yes. So we are going to place it here. Past properties. Really good. Just two more. Copy properties and paste properties. We are almost there. Keep doing, keep going. The last one. Copy properties and paste properties. Really cool. And now I will say that this person here send me many different sort of emails, right? I'm gonna use the same colors. You can change its colors, like to use dark gray, light gray. I'm gonna use the same one. So I have Jeremiah's Woods. See, it's aligned wrongly. I need to fix that. Fill container, and here let's see what I can do to fix that. Fill container too, yes, but it's filling container the wrong way. I'm gonna change it here. Yeah, sometimes you have to adjust. Mentorship, something like this. Hey Marcos, how are you? and things like this. So now we can see again that we have to fix it, and it's part of the job, like I normally say, because much probably we have too much space here. I'm gonna use, for instance, something like this, you know, minus 14. Yeah, it's possible to use, it's not recommended. So we need to work with constraints. To have some constraint here, I could diminish the text size, something like this. I want to reach you. Yeah, something like this, right? Now it works. Or, yeah, just for a proposal of tutorials, yeah, whatever name, Jeff King's Jeremiah Woods. So let's invert Jeff King's. Copy, properties, paste. Oh, here, copy, properties, paste. Oops, paste, properties. Jeremiah's and Jeff King's. And now I can use this one up here that is a little better. We organize things better. Jeff King's online class. Hi Marcus. I want to. In this case, we have more things we can do using auto layout. See, I selected two of them. I'm gonna align by right or left, no matter. What I have to do is I need to open it here, and the spacing mode is packed. I have to change to space between, and now it's gonna be perfect. Here too, space between. See, the animation, the illustration is showing that things will be much better. Cool. Auto layout, it's a huge subject. Hi Marcus, I need to ask you if you are going, something like this. Yes, to make more tutorials, something like this. Well, I think that you got the point. I want to speed up the class, so I'm gonna pretend we have a lot of we have more messages coming, and we will fake it. We will duplicate, like duplicate this one sometimes, this one sometimes, then we can mixture them, like having one here, another one like here, and now it's okay, right? So when the developer or the stakeholder, when people, they look at it, they can say, whoa, I can understand. I know that you are showing me, because this thing over here, it's gonna be like, oh, we are going to have a list, and this list has avatars, titles, date stamp, and more, right? Here, the same thing. Select both of them, rather than package, space between, and now things, they work better. Message sent, and here's something like undo. Some people, they use press Ctrl U we have this underline. Some people they use like this, some people they use like this. You decide. Control U again. Oof. So we have a tutorial. This tutorial was a little longer than normally we do, but I really hope that you enjoy my content. Yes, that's it. I'm just organizing things before I leave, and I appreciate your time. Thank you for supporting, and I hope to see you in the future. Have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, and thank you for watching. Like I said before, this was Marcus and another tutorial for this new and fresh channel. Bye bye, see you in the next one.